Welcome to today's episode of the Joshua Lee Bryant podcast. I'm your host, Joshua Lee Bryant. And if you've not yet done so, please hit that subscribe button so you never, ever miss another podcast episode. I've been really reluctant about making this episode. This episode's going to be about Elon Musk and the Twitter files. The reason for my hesitation is because I don't like talking about controversial topics, and I feel like the controversy lies because people aren't educated on the situation. And sometimes when people don't fully understand a topic, they quickly jump to throw in their opinion without merit. I know this is going to catch some strife on me, and I'm okay with that because I understand the whole situation from a different perspective. As a business owner, I understand what business owners have rights to when it pertains to their business. With that being said, I want to just go ahead and jump into this episode. The first thing I want to talk about is the Twitter files. I understand politicians kind of don't want them released. I understand some Twitter execs or ex-Twitter execs don't want them released. That's okay. That's their decision, their opinion. It is my understanding that the Twitter files is a collection of documents and data that Elon Musk and the team at Twitter can view from the back end of the CRM management software that they utilize as a team that works on Twitter, develops Twitter, along with other client messaging tools that they've had to message with people that have Twitter accounts. The people that are afraid for these files or didn't want these files to be released in the first place are not fear-mongering people. They're not people that are afraid to know things. They are people that are afraid for the way that they conducted business with Twitter to be released. And the same goes for the execs that didn't want it to be released on Twitter. My advice is if you don't want your conduct being released into the public, then shouldn't you, instead of attacking the people releasing that material, you as a person change the way you conduct yourself and conduct your businesses? That way you don't have to worry about how you're being perceived in the media or in public. Now, I'm not going to get political at all because I really couldn't care about who is or who is not president. But we all know that it's obvious, especially from the sheer amounts of data and documentaries that was published about the Facebook ads Brexit thing over a few years ago, to where if you have an enormous amount of data on people you want to run ads on, and you run certain types of ads to these people, you can persuade them to believe a certain way. And you can even run unique ads to these people to hit them exactly where they need to be hit to change a psychological belief about something. So if we already know that, and Facebook was reprimanded, and the company responsible for running those ad campaigns were reprimanded, then we should still remember that when considering how huge the Twitter files were. The Twitter files prove that there was a lot of things happening to try to shut down the accounts of officials without merit. And just that being done in general alone, if someone's account gets shut down, it stops them from being able to reach all their followers. But it also says something about them and plants a seed psychologically in people, saying these guys are untrustworthy, this person is bad, or something like that. Now, taking the political crap out of it, the Twitter files exploded what many of Americans, including myself, what we thought were true. I truly thought that unless someone did something absolutely wrong and against community guidelines, they would not have their accounts removed from any platform. But we now know that if there is an agenda that needs to be pushed because of lobbying or special interest, that agenda can be pushed simply by clicking a button and shutting an account down. The Twitter files discussion is going to be ended simply by saying, we really need to open our minds up. It's not about who you think is a good politician or even who you think is a good candidate. You need to just simply acknowledge the fact that everything you think you know about what could be going on may truly be false. And you have to understand any opinions you may make about someone may not only be a biased opinion, but the bias could have been created without merit. This podcast episode is going to require the listeners to be able to conduct themselves as listeners, as educated individuals, at least to the point where you can entertain an ideology that is not exactly your own. Which brings me to the topic of Elon Musk. Elon is getting so much flack. Now, I'm not going to say one way or another that I support or don't support his business practices or his business decisions. I am not Elon Musk. I have to make decisions for my own business and my own businesses. Every business owner makes decisions, even my clients, because I work with a lot of business owners. Sometimes they make decisions that I don't all the way agree with. Sometimes they make decisions I do agree with. A lot of people are saying that the government needs to get involved with Elon Musk's agenda for Twitter. Or some people are saying what he's doing is illegal. He's hounding free speech or supporting it too much. But people are failing to understand this basic concept that Twitter is a private business. If you own a website, the website is your property, your business's property, and what you choose to do with that website is your decision. If you want to allow comments on that website, you can. If you want to delete all bad comments on that website and only keep the good ones, you can. And the same vice versa. If you want to delete all the good comments, keep all the bad ones, you can. It is not illegal. It may be shady business, but it is not illegal. If you own a web application and develop it into a native mobile application and allow people to create free accounts on it or charge for accounts on it, if you want to say this person can't have one, this person can't have an account, this person can, this person cannot, well, that is solely your discretion, and there is no legal ramification for saying otherwise. And I know that Congress, to some degree, is really overstepping their boundaries by trying to reach their hands in and control what can and can't be published on some social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and even trying to overreach and say what businesses Meta can and cannot acquire. I think that's too much. I don't think they should have a say in it. Because true monopolistic behavior is when businesses acquire so many businesses that there are no other options available for consumers to utilize for basic needs and necessities. And in my mind, those are things like hospitals, energy companies, electric companies, water companies, cell phone carriers. So what I'm getting at is, if you have a problem with Elon Musk's decision of how he governs Twitter, get on a different social media app. And if there's not a social media app that you like, build one. Because anyone can build one. Learn to program. Build one. Hire someone to build one if you don't want to learn to program. And there you go. There's your solution. I don't feel that we can classify social media in the same category in any way if one company bought them all up as a monopoly, because of the situation that anyone can build another social media platform at any time. And I think that I stand behind my own claim right now that if Elon Musk wants to light Twitter on fire, if he decided to, he can. It's his business. And now finally, people that were not conducting themselves the way they should are now going to think about how those actions may be viewed in the future. I think it's about time that everyone is being held accountable, and I think that's okay.